Deci, deci, pasa, pasa, deci, deci, pasa, pasa, deci, deci, pasa, pasa, deci, deci, pasa.
It all comes back to this moment. Bruce revisits this time over and over. The Red Hood laughed at him as he careens into a hot vat of chemicals, as if he's been laughing at Batman the entire time, like none of this matters or means anything. Sometimes the Dark Knight is saving him, but that man just laughs harder. Whatever Batman does, whatever he wants, it is always and forever going to come to this. Batman and a squad of his allies and enemies attack the citizens of Gotham infected by the Joker toxin. Our hero told the villains that the mask will unleash a knockout gas if any of them use lethal force on these innocent victims. It's not true, but the bad guys are desperate enough to believe it. Batman orders Ivy to unleash her power, and she creates a barrier around the improvised team. The Dark Knight then calls out to Bane, who knows exactly what is needed of him. The old enemy tosses Batman high above the crowd, and he manages to grab on to the T-Rex statue, which has been defaced by the Joker. The mad clown laughs, and soon the two engage in a fierce battle. Even though he's using a chainsaw, Batman manages to grab a hold of the Joker and attempts to attract the serum from his greatest enemy. But the Joker just laughs. He didn't think it would be that easy, did he? Laughter erupts in the street, loud enough to incapacitate everyone but the Joker, and also begins to shatter everybody's gas mask. The Clown Prince of Crime then unleashes a fatal toxin that will kill all of his attackers. As Batman begins to collapse, the Joker wants to show him something. The cure within the clown's body has been deliberately corrupted, but somewhere, deep underground, at the very bedrock of Gotham, lies the last sample of the immortality serum known as Dionysium. The Joker mocks his longtime enemy and begins to unmask Batman. But suddenly, he realizes that he's made a mistake. This isn't Batman, it's Dick Grayson. The clown realizes that the real Batman is playing him as Bruce descends deep below the city of Gotham. With Julia Pennyworth's assistance, Batman is able to find the sample, and they confirm it can be used as a cure for the Joker's toxin. The Dark Knight comments that the Joker must have stumbled across this sample after their last encounter, when he fell down the waterfall. It's the only explanation for how the clown's face and body were healed. Bruce manages to collect a sample before the Joker detonates a bomb in the cavern. As he prepares to escape, he is surprised to find the Joker right behind him, who stabs the hero in his shoulder. Now injured, Batman orders Julia to pull out the serum and leave him behind. He has more to do down here. And so the final battle between Batman and the Joker begins. Batman makes a quick attack, but the Joker is faster than ever before. He mocks the Dark Knight and impales him twice. Is the serum making Joker stronger, or has he always been holding back? But there's no need to be frustrated. Batman just needs to think about all the great times they've had. And smile. The battle rages on, and soon both men are badly injured. Batman manages to use a batarang laced with an immune response blocker that should reduce the Joker's new healing abilities. So the Joker decides to show Batman his cards. Now with one eye blinded, Batman still refuses to relent and manages to bite off a part of the Joker's ear before both men collapse into a bloody heap. The Joker manages to get up and nearly finishes his nemesis off until a stalagmite falls on top of him. Now critically injured, the Joker desperately tries to crawl over to the Dionysium, but Batman stops him and pins him to the ground. Bruce says that he needs to tell his enemy something. He sees it now. He finally understands who the Joker is. He's the Pale Man, who has no need for an immortality formula. Bruce begs his old enemy to forgive him not noticing this earlier, and the Joker, growing desperate, hurriedly forgives him. Bruce thanks him, and a massive pile of rubble crushes the Dionysium. The Joker stops struggling. Now both men will die from their injuries. Joker takes comfort in the fact that at least he managed to break everything in Bruce's life. But Batman says that even this was a failure. The gas mask contained a vapor that will reverse the effects of the fatal toxin. They'll be fine, and Bruce is sure that even the Joker will get out of this okay. Our hero orders that Julia leave him down here to use the formula to save his city. He's going to rest here for a little while with his friend. 2 weeks later, Alfred is cured, but unable to even look outside. He doesn't want to be mended. Batman is gone, and the loyal butler is despondent. Bruce left a note, but it doesn't say much. Julia asks her father if he wants to see it. He says no, but after a moment, agrees to look. Julia asks what the note means, and Alfred explains it. What the Joker never understood about Batman is that there is no happy ending for the Dark Knight. It was pointless to try and tempt him with one. Bruce knew this about Batman more than anyone else. We all know this deep down, but we don't like to admit it. The story of Batman is, and always will be, a tragedy. Batman could live forever, but he doesn't. He dies like the rest of us. But this is also his greatest strength, the thing that makes him truly immortal. Batman taught us to live bravely and inspired us to smile at the void, which is why he left this note, his last message to the world, all contained in a single word. Ha! Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and this is my recap and review of Batman number 40. Wow, so it's finally here! It took a little while, but the finale of Endgame has come at long last, and in my eyes, the wait was totally worth it. Once again, this story has just blown me away. I really like this comic and Endgame as a whole. This was a good final issue for Batman, or at least as we know him. The series isn't going anywhere, but it's clearly moving in a new direction post-Convergence, with the Dark Knight sporting a new look in the next issue and presumably starting somewhat fresh. So no, Batman isn't going anywhere, but this does seem to be the end for this version of Bruce Wayne as we know him. It's a tragic ending, but as this comic makes perfectly clear, one that was all but inevitable for the Dark Knight. There is no happy ending out there for Bruce Wayne. This is a man who is all but destined to go down in the field of battle. So I really enjoy how this comic was executed, and on the whole was really impressed by its quality. Scott Snyder did a great job writing this comic. I've talked about this before, but he really knows how to work with artist Greg Capullo. For example, Batman's injuries in this story are hardly mentioned in the dialogue, and instead it conveyed entirely through the art. And it's so effective and well done. You can see Batman struggling through this final bloody confrontation with the Joker, and both members of this creative team deserve a lot of praise for a comic put together really well. I'm sure there are problems with this story. People have been quick to point out plot holes and other weird choices throughout my reviews of the Endgame series, but at the end of the day, I just don't care about this story's flaws. Any problems with this comic is too easy for me to ignore, and I'd rather just enjoy the ride. I've had way too much fun with Endgame to care about its weaknesses. No comic is perfect, but if it's good enough that I don't care to look for plot holes or other issues in this story, then in my eyes, it's as perfect as a comic needs to be. Continuity sticklers will also no doubt have issues with this comic, and I'm pretty sure people will be annoyed that Batman basically died in this issue, but again, I have to stress that there's nothing permanent going on here, nor does it need to be. Continuity only matters if it adds something to the story, but here, it would only hold a good story back, so why not enjoy it? Who cares if it will have any effect going forward? None of that matters, it's just fun, and at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's really important. Heck, if there's a real problem with this comic, it's that I want more. I want more of Batman teaming up with his villains and allies to work against the Joker. I want more of this craziness. I wanted more of everything this story had to offer, and that's exactly the impression a good comic should leave you with. So I really like Batman number 40 and would recommend you check it out for yourself. It was a phenomenal Batman comic, and Endgame as a whole is definitely worth your time. Let me know what you guys think of Batman number 40 in the comments section below. You can also expect a complete story for Endgame out shortly as well, so look forward to that. And finally, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.